Those returned by FC and those by GC who are present, I declare the motion passed.
根據議事規則第49B 1A 條。
Motion under Rule 49B brackets 1B 1A of the Rules of Procedure to censure Mr. Ted Hui. I call upon Mrs. Regina IP to speak and move the motion. Thank you, President. LegCo is a solemn and long-standing legislative body. Article 73 of the Basic Law endows an important function to the LegCo, including passing and amending legislation, approving tax revenue, etc. That is why the public has high expectations of Legislative Council member. On the 24th of April, what Mr. Ted Hui did to a female officer was shocking, and it brought disgrace to LegCo. As a member of the Legislative Council, I feel that I have to move a motion under Rule 49B brackets 1A of the Rules of Procedure to show that we would not ignore such behavior which are against public expectations. And on the morning of the 24th of April, I chaired a meeting on the Bills Committee on the XRL co-location bill, and Mr. Ted Hui was at the 4-lift lobby on the 7th floor of LegCo. He grabbed the mobile phone and documents of a female officer of the Security Bureau, and the female officer was carrying out her marshalling duties. Mr. Ted Hui fled after the incident, and the female officer asked for her belongings to be returned, but to no avail. According to a letter from the Security Bureau, the female officer was in tears, and as a LegCo member, Mr. Ted Hui showed no respect for public officers and grabbed the person's belongings. Such behavior towards a female individual was aberrant. After grabbing the mobile phone and documents of the female officer, Mr. Ted Hui quickly hid himself in a men's toilet on the 7th floor of the LegCo complex and stayed there for 10-odd minutes. Subsequently, Mr. Ted Hui returned the handset, but he admitted openly that he had browsed the information contained in the mobile phone and recorded the information by his own means. Such acts constitute a serious infringement on the female officer's privacy. Since the mobile phone was provided by the government, it might also contain sensitive internal information of the government. After the incident, Mr. Ted Hui reiterated that he found information on the whereabouts of LegCo members in the mobile phone, and he committed the acts in order to reveal such facts. And on the second day, or the day after the incident, which was the 25th of April, a press release was issued by the Office of the Privacy Commissioner for Personal Data, and the Privacy Commissioner pointed out that whether privacy is breached would depend on the circumstances and position of the individuals involved and the reasonable expectations in specific scenarios. For the Legislative Council, the scrutiny work in public interest, and the government is in position to facilitate the work, and the information collected at the LegCo complex only involved the locations of LegCo members, and this does not constitute sensitive information. And the marshalling duties, if the marshalling duties involve public interest, that would constitute a legitimate purpose. Mr. Ted Hui's acts might be against such function. And even for members of the public, such acts would not be affected. And Mr. Ted Hui is an elected Legislative Council member. After the incident, Mr. Ted Hui questioned the government of potentially being in breach of privacy. This shows a lack of legal knowledge on his part, and it shows that he was merely shifting the blame, and he might have committed criminal offenses, and he showed no remorse for that. Due to, in view of the disrespect showed by Mr. Ted Hui towards government officers, it was also an insult to a female individual, and this is against public expectations of a LegCo member. And this would constitute misbehavior according to Article 79, Bracket 7 of the Basic Law. I now propose a question to you that the motion moved by Mrs. Regina IP be passed. In accordance with Rule 49B, Bracket 2A of the Rules of Procedure, the debate is adjourned and the matter stated in the motion is referred to an investigation committee.
無立法效。
Debate on